reading the press release, these are
Yes.
your words, not mine.
Yes.
This is the more sexual side of you.
Well, it's definitely, I think this album in general, I think is just a little bit sexier than the records I've made in the past. When you're looking at the title track, Sweeter, and in particular that one, and a song called Radiation that's on here also, I think that those songs in general really kind of feature a sexier kind of sound and subject matter, and I think that they're sexy in a real masculine way. You know what I mean?
So define that.
They're not
like, is this like sort of lovemaking music, or is this
they're
kind of
they're
Gavin's
kind
like heartbreak?
It's not like Barry White love songs. They're a little bit like a little bit more like rockin' love songs. It's kind of like Sly and the Family Stones meets the Black Keys. But I think they're sexy in what I think the coolest way possible.
Okay.
But that's not to say that the whole record is like that. There's a few songs that tap into that thing. At the same time, I think that this album brings with it the elements of my beginnings of my career as well. Like on the first record, on Chariot, there's sort of that discovery period of music. That really sounds like this. That sound like a kid kind of figuring out music and songwriting for the first time. There's some of that innocence on there. But with songs like Sweeter and Radiation, it kind of takes it to that other place where you can really hear the evolution of the art for me.
Right. So as a singer-songwriter, do you sort of like feel like inside yourself that the time is right for the next kind of album? Or is there sort of like an inspiration period that kind of goes off? Okay, because I'm sure you have to want to mix it up each time and be a little bit different and not turn it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's perfectly put. It's important as an artist to continue to experiment and to reach new ground, but not to alienate your fans, who have really brought you to this place to begin with. So as you continue to progress, you keep in mind who your audience is and what they're looking for from you, and you know it's important to preserve that. That being said, you can't continually make your first album over and over and over again.
Right.
You have to do something new, and you have to experiment, or you're not doing your job as an artist, right? So the album itself really is that progression, and I think the things that really bring it there are working with multiple producers, which I did. There's 4 different producers really on this album. Each of the albums I'd made prior were only produced by one producer per record. That plus, this is the first album that I decided to co-write.
Okay.
So once again, prior to that, I'd written alone on all the records. But there's a few songs on this album that I wrote with someone else, 2 different guys that I wrote these other songs with. And I think that makes the album that much more exciting and interesting. And it helps me stay inspired and also find those new sounds and bring my audience with me. And all of that really is going to essentially lead to the live shows being more exciting. Making the albums more exciting will also make the live performances more exciting. You're just giving yourself more things to tap into and to deliver to your audiences.
Right.